and welcome back to the piano tutorial for Dynamite. Today we're on part 7 in this video series, and we're right in the middle of learning the bridge. So let me show you what we're going to focus on next. Alright, so let's jump right in, starting with our right hand. Okay, now the first thing we're going to need to do is going to open up our right hand and play that wide G sharp minor chord. And this chord consists of G sharp, B, D sharp, and a higher G sharp. And we're going to play this with our 1, 2, 3, and 5 fingers. The next thing we need to do is shift our hand over a little to the left and replace both G sharp notes with F sharps. Next we'll play E and C sharp with our 4 and 2 fingers, followed by a 2-note chord played with G sharp and E. After that we'll play F sharp and B twice with our 1 and 2 fingers, and bounce it up to G sharp and C sharp. Okay, so if we play all that together, it'll sound like this. Okay, now let's grab a hold of A, C sharp, and G sharp with our 1, 2, and 5 fingers. We're going to precede this with a single C sharp note and play the chord once. Now we simply move our pinky over to the F sharp note and play this chord twice. Next, play E and C sharp with our 4 and 2 fingers, followed by a B major chord made up of B, D sharp, and F sharp. You can play this with your 1, 3, and 5 fingers. Next we'll play a quick 5-note melody line. These notes are E, D sharp, B, and G sharp. So if we play that all together, it'll sound like this. So now why don't you join me as we play the whole right hand part together with a slow metronome. Okay, now let's work the left hand part of this segment. We're going to start out in a G sharp minor hand position, and we're going to play the notes of G sharp minor individually. And notice we're going to stretch a little bit beyond an octave. So with our left pinky on G sharp, we're going to play these 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these notes are G sharp, D sharp, F sharp, B, F sharp, D sharp, and G sharp again. And notice that I'm using the 5, 3, 2, and 1 fingers here. Okay, now we need to get our hand in a C sharp minor position, and we're going to play these 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And these notes are C sharp, E, G sharp, C sharp, G sharp, B, E, and G sharp. Now from here we need to go to the A major position, and this time we'll play 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these notes are A, E, A, B, A, E, and C sharp. finally, we'll get back to the B position, and we'll finish with 8 notes again. And these notes are B, F sharp, B, C sharp, B, F sharp, E, and D sharp. Also notice which fingers that I'm using. I'm using the 5, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4 fingers. Okay, so if we play this left hand part all the way through, it sounds like this. And once you've practiced this for a while, see if you can play this together with me using a slow metronome. 3, 4. Okay, now let's get both hands on the keyboard and combine our last 2 segments. Remember, we're starting out with a full G sharp minor chord with our right hand. Our left hand will play these 7 notes. Okay, so once we strike the chord with our right hand, our left hand will play the first 2 notes in our chord arpeggio. Next, we shift our right hand over to play 2 F sharp notes. We'll play this chord twice as the left hand plays 3 more notes. Next we'll play E and C sharp with our right hand, and our left hand will play the last 2 notes in the chord arpeggio. Immediately followed by a G sharp E chord with the right hand. Okay, so let me just play that back. Okay, so with our right hand still holding the G sharp and E notes, our left hand will enter the C sharp minor chord position and get ready to play these 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So once the left hand has played the first 4 notes in the chord arpeggio, 1, 2, 3, 4, the right hand joins in with a F sharp and B chord and will move up into a C sharp and G sharp and C sharp chord like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Incidentally, the bar ends with our right index finger playing this single C sharp note. So let me just do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now from this position, our left hand moves down to our A major position, gets ready to play these 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At the same time, our right hand is going to start off with A, C sharp, and G sharp in a chord, while our left hand plays the first 2 notes. Now our right pinky scoots over to the F sharp note and plays this chord twice as the left hand plays 3 more notes. Next we play E and C sharp with the right hand, while our left hand coincidentally is playing the same 2 notes 2 octaves down. Now this is immediately followed by a B major chord in the right hand. Alright, so that again is Okay, now immediately after we play the B major chord with our right hand, our left hand will also get into the B hand position and get ready to play these 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But once our left hand reaches the upper C sharp note, our right hand plays a 5-note melody line. So when we combine these two hands, it should sound like this. Okay, so let me play all of that from the start. Alright, now if that's not too much to wrap your hands around, see if you can play this with me using a slow metronome. Okay, so I know you want to see what this looks like on sheet music, so here goes. Okay, now we're approaching the final 6 bars of the bridge, which includes a special ending that's going to require us to play 16th notes. So let me just play what we're going to work on next. That might sound a little familiar to you. So let's just jump right in and start learning it with our right hand. Okay, now this right hand segment is really easy because our hand is basically staying in one spot. So the first thing our right hand does is play a 5-note melody line. And these notes are E, D sharp, B, and C sharp. After that, we play 3 G sharp E chords. 1, 2, 3. Next, we play 5 A major triads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And finally, we play 5 B suspended 4 chords, played with F sharp, B, and E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this easy segment should sound like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let's review what the left hand is doing. We're going to again start in a G sharp minor hand position and play our usual 7 notes. And these notes again are G sharp, D sharp, F sharp, B, F sharp, D sharp, and G sharp again. And remember, I'm using the 5, 3, 2, and 1 fingers. Alright, and now we're going to place our hand in the C sharp minor position and play these 8 notes. And these notes, once again, are C sharp, E, G sharp, C sharp, G sharp, B, E, and G sharp. Next, we'll move to the A major position, but this time we're going to play 8 notes. these notes are A, E, A, B, A, E, C sharp, and A. And finally, we'll move to the B position and play 8 notes again. And these notes are B, F sharp, B, C sharp, B, F sharp, E, and D sharp. And I'll give you a quick reminder of what this sounds like played all the way through. Okay, now it's time to get both hands working together. For this segment, our left hand starts off in our usual G sharp minor position, and we'll play these 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now when our left hand reaches that 4th note, 1, 2, 3, 4, our right hand will play a 5-note melody line. So when we combine these two hands, it should sound like this. Okay, now at this point, our left hand switches to the C sharp minor position and plays our usual 8-note pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But on our 6th note, the right hand is going to play 3 G sharp E chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next, our left hand moves to our A major position to play these 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And at the same time, our right hand is going to play 5 A major triads. And finally, we'll move our left hand up to the B position, and we'll play these 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At the same time, our right hand is going to play 5 chords with F sharp, B, and E. Okay, so let me play all that back for you. And just to make sure you're getting enough practice, let's try playing this together with a slow beat. Okay, and now let's take a look at what this segment looks like on sheet music. Okay, so now we're on the final 2 bars of our bridge, and I specifically set this segment aside because we're going to have to play 16th notes in groups of 4. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is locate middle C and then place our thumb on the B note to the left of middle C. Next, place your index finger on E, your middle finger on F sharp, and your pinky on the higher B note. Your hand is now on a B suspended 4 chord. The only thing is, we're not going to actually play the chord all at once. What we're going to do is arpeggiate these notes one at a time. Alright? Now, you should try to slowly get your fingers accustomed to playing these notes at an even pace, one after the other, without speeding up or staggering. So basically what we need to do here is play 4 groups of 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then after we're done playing those 4 groups, we'll move our index finger to the D sharp note and play 3 more groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, and we'll finish this off with this single B note. Now the goal here is to eventually develop the speed and accuracy to play these 16th notes at full speed. So if you're a skilled keyboardist, then you may need to skip this exercise. But if your hand still needs a little practice developing the speed and accuracy for this segment, then join me right now as we play these 16th notes at a slow pace. Okay, now provided you can play these 16th notes fluidly and accurately, let's bring in the left hand at this time. But first, I want to quickly remind you where we left off in our last segment and show you how to connect our previous segment with this one. This is where we came from. Okay, now this is where we're going. Okay, now that's what I'm going to teach you right now. Okay, the first thing we want to do is get our right hand in our B suspended 4 position. Now initially we want to get our left pinky on the B note that's just below our right hand. But it's only going to stay here an instant because after we play 2 sets of 4 notes in our right hand, our left hand will immediately assume a lower position on the keyboard. Okay, so let's get into our starting position with the left little finger on this B note. Now, just to explain how the left hand will match the quick notes of the right hand, when we reach 8 notes in our right hand, our left hand will play a quick F sharp and an immediate B note. Let me demonstrate what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now from here we move our right index finger to this D sharp note and continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now notice that we end on 5. That's the B note played with our right thumb. Okay, so that's basically all we need to do here. Let me show you that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now that you've seen it, come and join me on your keyboard and let's practice it together with a beat. Okay, so I played it twice just so you can have enough time to see everything in action. Okay, and now let's take a look at what this will look like on sheet music. Alright, if you've gone through and learned all the materials I've shown you up until now, then you've basically learned the entire Dynamite song. Because what comes after the bridge is a repeat of the chorus, and then the song, if you listen to it on the radio, comes to an abrupt end. However, I'm not really satisfied with that. I mean, I love this song, but I'm not a big fan on how it ends. So what I'm going to do next is give you 2 more videos on how to end this song my way. So check me out in part 8 of this video series, which is coming up next, because I'm going to give you 3 distinct options on how to end this song with a bang. Alright? And for now, since you've stuck with me all the way up until the end of the 7th video, I'm going to play for you the entire bridge from the beginning all the way up to what we just finished. So while you're watching this, just keep in mind that this is how the entire bridge should sound once you've mastered it.